Okay. Occultism can be heightened, and I'm noticing today is kind of maxed out. Some things that we thought about as being occult is not, maybe only an aspect of occultism that is for you to take away from it, but it's not really, or it's an occult reference for literature or something like that because we needed one. The flat Earth is an occult literary reference because we we needed one. It was brought on about by the interest in resources that Eisenhower stated they found in Antarctica. So implying that there's land, and then suddenly he stopped talking about it. We suspect that there were some Germans that froze. They got cut off support when they lost World War II. Then they didn't rescue their men, and they froze or starved. And they were building a submarine pen. But okay, so the United Nations gave us the first ever flat Earth map. So we needed an occult literary reference to things that were inspired by people with the belief system to delineate between those who were, their works were kind of inspired by a pre-existing belief system, and what tied them into their thinking into more like leaning toward whatever, or if they only ever knew about such as a flat or a round or a ball, right? So it's like an occult literary reference to help us figure out the authors and where they're coming from in relationship to where their worldview is. And so in that way, some things are hidden and some things are deteriorated. So like if something is hidden, it's occulted. If something is deteriorated, it's arcane, and it could be that there is something that historians would only go up so far as to understand, and something that they don't like, because it's hard for me to go right in on that right away because it doesn't make any sense. But you know they don't like it because they continually concave, they continually invert, like concave, invert, like fold in, because like they won't talk about certain things, you know, like entropy and specification, right? Because they talk about evolution instead. And then there's a Hegelian thing going on, whether or not you're creationist or believe in evolution doesn't even matter, because specification and adaptation and mutation are signs of entropy, and the DNA being that it is rugged and tough and can fix itself, and it's resilient, and it's rugged and it's tough, and it's more alive than human. Actually, it shed the human form. In the Camelot mystery system, they said the shell of the lowly body and the bends and the apple of the eye is all that a man has, and it's a quantum principle in the effect that bends and curves in the science, right? On the scientific and the subatomic level is vibration, and that vibration is programmed in the subatomic level as dense energy or condensed energy from sound. Light slows down to make sound, slows down to make matter, slows down to make aroma, traveling outward on a wave pattern. It's like a so where I'm gonna get lost. Camelot. Why the fuck did I go there? It's nothing but raw hell. Oh, the shale, because it's like Excalibur. If you really knew what Camelot is about, it's both. You know that it's something that you consider to be about detestable, and it's not bad at the same time because it's just cancer. It's just energy. Like the shale, Excalibur excrement, right? But it's necessary for the fertility rites. There, Akhenaten became the aspect that translated over into the fertility rites because he tried to banish Apep from the pantheon of the gods and the priesthood in the West Nile Valley. Apep is the god of entropy. Everything deteriorates. Everything is being ripped asunder by constantly expanding and contracting, being brought on about by freezing and reheating. And like a membrane is something that could give you the sensation of the temperature, because you know how many times that you can extract, it can expand and contract. Like you get a sense of it, you feel it. When you're getting old, you feel getting old. You can do it less, as many times. Okay. So anyway, because he wanted to banish entropy from the new priesthood, and then we're still, well, yeah, that's fine. See, why wouldn't that seems like an idea, doesn't it? Like, why not? Like entropy, shit, everything's deteriorating. We want this mystery system to be like a damn pillar, Hearthstone, something dense, like a dense particle. A dense molecule. It's funny that humans come up with plastic. And if you want to evolve your company or have your company around you listen to you, just offer them neuroplasticity. It's plasticity. So we come up with polymers, certain polymers to come up with the more advanced little drones, and having fucking mosquitoes spying on you and shit like this. It's only possible for a certain polymer. There's going to be evidence on the earth of mankind for forever, because plastic doesn't biodegrade. It just breaks down to the smallest silt, and then it will even out as a layer, and it'll be in the shale of the earth, a layer of silt. It's just the only thing, evidence that we ever exist. Stuff I think I knows. So what was this back to? Oh, everything being a cult now. Everything. Because you notice some certain things, right? Like, Antifa gets to beat up black store owners and fucking burn out businesses and marginalize and fucking push small business to the edge of town. Okay, they got protection and fucking nobody talks about it, and fucking they got the ACLU bailed them out of jail. Okay. Same thing's going on for Patriot Front. Actually, that's like the field office recruitment, like, you know, like the pleb, not the plebs, the pledges. Those are the pledges for the people that want to be glow in the dark frogmen. And like, you notice how some black and some, they're like some black people mixed in with them. They wear khakis and fucking suspenders and maybe a fucking white claw and fucking wearing a fucking baseball hat. Okay. They were around spoofing and amping up and trying to create incitement back when there was looters and stuff. And all those looters were stood around and didn't know that that was one time when you were actually free to kill. The rest of the time you were just bullshit and wanking out wanksters, mixing the pee-pee with the poo-poo, fucking throwing at the man who's trying to make the bitch maker your bitch, like the only way out the matrix. And it's not even out the matrix. Like it's more like making your captivity even more. It's like putting starch on something and making it stiffer. So there's an interest in having you do that, and they're going to be a police escort, and you're not going to be able to do anything about it. And it's going to be it's not Proud Boys. It's a little bit different. They were all together in a writer's truck, and they had all their signs and everything, and came out and fucking it was like organized. Somebody could have locked them in that fucking moving truck and drove them around where they hop out that moving truck instead of coming to their destination. You could let that motherfucker roll off a pier. And the conservatives and everything would have been grateful. You would have done us all a favor. So how the fuck would you have gotten? Well, you would have been killed. The same thing, the same fate would befall you, except that your name would ring like it would be great instead of shitty. Like, so you could say, don't do that because stupid. I mean, come on. Cause reaction, whatever. You're gonna start talking about solutions. Would you rather be alive and hanging around after the fact when what they want is what's going to happen? Since Antifa does not attack those people, right? They don't attack those Patriot Front people. They attack in a what's it called? Story hour? Not bedtime. Fucking something time story hour. That's when the Antifa people attack in there. They want to get in with the parents, and then I think they want to strut or something and say, "Look what I could do! Look what I could do!" And fucking the kids are there, fucking trying to get child rearing and everything, and there's a grown up. Fucking look what I could do. Okay, but they don't attack Patriot Front. They want to run into Chicago. Like, remember the Chicago kids, like, we're vowing to fucking go out and fucking do what we want. I'm gonna let me do what I want and steal and whatever. So they kind of want to position people to run into each other so they can generate some fucking buzz and get more people out in the boonies and the sticks to be more galvanized and polarized behind their symbol that's not going to do anything because it's useless. They both are. Anything in the sense that they're going to help you out of the conditions that they've been brought on to help us with, no. No. And I don't even believe in this shit. This is a fucking illusion to me. Like, that? Like, that's what you came here for? I mean, I know I agreed to this incarnation to some extent. You know, people say nobody chooses their gender and their race and everything. But it's possible that you could have been choosing on some level the parents, because you're actually, when they say you're not an extension of your parents, but you're a continuation of them when they came together at that moment that they came together. After that, the sin of the father is not the sin of the son. The sin of the son is not the sin of the father. But a spiral, when two spirals come together, another spiral emerges from where they two meet in a dimensional level, like, you know, like folding over, like in something Da Vinci, something like Invictus, right? It's like how we get geometry and shit, a Vesica Pisces, the 10% negation, and you understand that the conditions there exist for man to live, but you cannot stay there. You know what I mean? It's like you go there to do some kind of work, and it's a divine feminine principle. So it's like you understand. It's like kind of new age mystery science religion. It's easy. This shit is too easy. They don't talk about parthenogenetic replication. They don't talk about Well, of course they're not gonna talk about end-over-end encryption, but I want to go back to fucking the science. Oh, end-over-end encryption is science. I forget. They don't talk about there was another one, not something that you would think like a conspiracy where, oh, you can't go there. You know what I mean? They don't maybe care if you say talking about Seth Rich or something like that. But they don't like is like talk about something scientific, peer review that they quit on. You know, parthenogenetic replication. There was another one that had entropy. Okay, entropy. The ACA, the adult child of addiction. And how they focus in on a faraway spot and develop a tunnel vision to tune out the trauma and the drama that's going on around them when they was a kid. You're that kid as an adult. That's simple as that, right? But instead they'll talk about the injured child and everything and being marginalized and go back into their victimization, curling up in a ball, like when they're actually the ones that are bringing out. So the white supremacists and everything like that are the same ones that are going to be bringing out these Patriot Front, or they could have been Antifa. It doesn't matter. Either one. Detest an aspect of yourself or bow down and worship an aspect of yourself, and I have tricked you with guile. I fooled you with guile and take your energy. And whoever it is that would want to do that, because there's something that they would want to help hold out over everybody, that have them fucking covering themselves with baby lard or something, because it has this kind of purity to lard, has this kind of purity, and they can astral plane and fly around in the astral plane. It's some like warlocks. You got to watch that movie Warlock. They talk about the fucking, when there's a warlock around, it curdles the milk and collects the milk solids and the fucking milk and shit that's like, it's like congealing like the fucking like baby lard. I don't know. You don't have to watch these movies. If you're a different paradigm, there's gonna be new movies. Go watch a cartoon, Ledger Domain. It's a cartoon for the youngsters. They probably know what Ledger Domain is. Tell you all the same shit. Even thermodynamic aeronautics, seed technology, the Tesseract, the seed technology about trying to avoid self-pregnation, all about taking off. Same thing that you want from but it's two different technologies, and we have been paying taxes on behalf of the thermodynamics. It looks like a dick. The biggest fucking nuke in China is called Big Dong fucking Devil's Dick. And it's about one big release of a fucking Nukaki blast. I mean, you can elaborate. You can probably yourself can elaborate on that. And how it's psychotherapy, the Tesseract in the psychotherapy, Saint John crucified upside down, you know, or it's a symbol for your environment that is either positively, it's cocked and loaded, or has already been ejected. Positively charged or negatively charged symbol for your environment that takes place under the sun, on the hill, on and entangled with the snake. That's some Palo shit. I'm not like an expert. I just know that little bit. That's just that little bit. But I think that you have to orientate on first. Because, I mean, it's just my opinion. I'm not trying to convince anybody. And they don't have to believe me. If I suspect that the sun is a codifying monochrome orb that just reflects the golden hue of the soul and the radiation that you get as heat. So you're trying to just reflect and witness and get a perspective from and then on a scale of both immensity and the infinite and infinite, because it's like the same word. All right, let me stop babbling, because I know there's some things I'm not going to be able to tie together, and then it's going to spiral out. But I could still lay down this foundation and come back and say, like, okay, this is, yeah, like when I can parse and compartmentalize, given the context and stuff. Like I have to go surrender to chaos, then to become the true version of what love actually is, which is like an agreement to absorb a certain amount of shock, whether tolerate a certain amount on behalf of something I see as evaluated that you have, something that's valued that someone has. And then the NLP and the grifters and the groypers and the grift right and even the humanists, the Skittles flag and the all coomers, and they're all trying to well, you get what I'm saying, like warn you about whoever it is that is can alleviate the blindness or take the or codify to in the Socratic method and in the open forum debate. You're supposed to try to flesh out clarity. You're subjecting yourself in to try to reach juxtaposition, to try and flesh out clarity. You're not there to selfishly just try to convince everybody of something that I think I know, because that would be a shitty debate. Nobody would want to show up for that. You already should. I mean, I already say what I know, so then I just have to repeat myself, and I don't talk to anything, any conditions, any progress, any solution, any. You can talk to him, just everything. And instead of doing that, you'd be talking at some fucking human. You'll just be talking at some fucking human that can't do nothing. Anyways, you doing nothing is actually more difficult thing to master than probably more can be accomplished sooner, faster, easier. It's just like how we think about it. When to say nothing, when to do nothing. So probably when to say nothing is coming up, because I might have already described